we talking to? And young gods, OGs and young gods.
I know you guys are probably asking yourselves, who gave this nigga the right to write a Bible? But if we all look past the lies and false teachers of the men that portray themselves to be the powers that be and seek the truth, our lives just as well as all that lives lives of Bible. No matter what man-made religion we believe in, just being true to thy Lord within ourselves will bring us peace. It's gonna be alright, cause in hell, we can't win the war between good and evil without being truthful to the powers that be.
Hood, hierarchy, mob pad. Every single episode, man, we gonna give them a little background.
I know how I feel because I done been through that 1,000 times.
Lovely ghetto you, beautiful ghetto you, sweet ghetto
We made so much doing that. I started taking that money throwing the concerts.
It's your boy, Project Pata. Hood hierarchy, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, look, man, if it ain't in the hood, man, it ain't on here.
Hey, this your boy Mario Cannon, man. You rocking with Hood Hierarchy. You already know what's going down.
Team Pretty P stand up. It's a wrap. Tune in.
It's Deli Dale. And whenever I got time and I'm relaxing and I'm chilling, I don't give a damn if I'm laying in the bed with you. I'm checking out Hood Hierarchy. And it's just that simple, just that easy.
It's 7 Up, man, straight from Brooklyn. I want y'all to check my boy out, Uncle Beast, Hood Hierarchy. Get the dopest interviews, the dopest content, the dopest platform, straight from Chi-Town, man. You know what it is, man. We representing Uncle Beast, Hood Hierarchy. That's the highest of prestige. Get it? You already know, that's on game, you heard?
One was saying this the one on the HD president, Mr. Bow Bow Bow. This is Hood Hierarchy checking in. I'm signing out. HD4, bow, bow, bow.
I'm booked and I'm busy. Yeah, I'm booked and I'm busy. Yeah, I'm busy. I'm about my money and not too many. Can't get with me. Stick to my lonely. Stick to my homies. Cause I ain't friendly. Ain't no gimme. I pulled it off the mud. Before I give this to you quick, ain't no showing love. I'm booked and I'm busy.
Yeah, I'm booked. Damn so busy. Schedule paper money to run it up.
F&G shit. Shot the whole day, go. Shot the bro Tre Boogie. We sliding. Sliding in the rental, trying to run a milli up. In the southeast, Tre Boogie been a plug. Rubber bands on the blues, hella panoramic views. If you get into it with the squad, you can never lose. It's on the flow like Yellow Rider. I got your vibe on her toes like nail polish. In the city, we get respected from everybody. You about to pull up on Tre Boogie, now let's chop. If you talking about the game, let's chop it up. If you talking about the hustle, let's chop it up. If you talking about the grind, let's chop it up. Talking about some fly vibes, baby, let's chop it up. If you talking about the game, let's chop it up. If you talking about the hustle, let's chop it up. If you talking about the grind, let's chop it up. Talking about some fly vibes, baby, let's chop it up. Let's chop it up. Got it wet, it's not a cut. Ain't worried about what nobody else got, cause I got enough. Me and Tre Boogie locked in, he threw a lob, I dunk. Heard the beat and sauced it up, can't nobody go hard as us. If you talking about the game, let's chop it up. If you talking about the hustle, let's chop it up. If you talking about the grind, let's chop it up. Talking about some fly vibes, baby, let's chop it up. If you talking about the game, let's chop it up. If you talking about the hustle, let's chop it up. If you talking about the grind, let's chop it up. Talking about some fly vibes, baby, let's chop it up.
Yes. What's up, y'all? It's the Friday night chop up. where we talk about just, man, all things mental health, physical health, you know, try to motivate you and motivate ourselves, as we're dealing with stuff. Tonight we got I got a special guest host. Y'all seen him last week twice on the platform. Um, I just felt like I should have him on here again for this. Before I bring him on, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, you're on Twitch, I appreciate you. Come on over here to the YouTube. Come on over here to the YouTube. Without further ado, because we're going to get into it. I always say we here for a good time, not a long time. And y'all could have been anywhere else at this moment, at this time, but you're here with us. So allow me to introduce the some and present the others. None other than my man, Shawn Cornelius. What's up, my brother?
I'm good, man. How you doing, bro?
Good, good, good. Happy Friday. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you too, brother.
Yes, sir. And, like I was saying, chopping it up with you twice on the show already, you got an interesting story. And I just felt like it'd be good to have you on here on this podcast.
Well, I appreciate the invite to come back. I want to say hello to everybody that's following over on Facebook Live, man. I got my camera set up, my little phone set up, and then Nat and Carla and Charlotte and all those folks. Let me see who else is on there real quick. Tammy's, everybody's following over there. So hopefully they'll go over so they can see both of us at the same time. They're not just watching me because they know me. Maria's on there, and I appreciate them coming through. But I thank you for having me again, man. This is it's wonderful to be able to be here and communicate with you.
Appreciate that. And for those that didn't get to catch our last interviews, let them know a little bit about you. Your story with your stroke and everything.
Well, basically, I was rolling, man. I was rolling with my comedy career. I got 30 years in my comedy career right now. My artistic stuff from Shawn University, just doing my acting and my music. And put out a movie in 2020, and in 2021 in February, I had an ischemic stroke, a minor ischemic stroke, which took me down for about I would say about a year, but 6 months to a year. Which messed me up for a little bit. Nothing really majorly physical, just a lot of mental and emotional things were going on, and just trying to get myself back together. So an ischemic stroke in the brain deals with the vessels in the brain, and mine weren't connecting correctly. So I spent like 5 days in the hospital, and I ended up having to write a book about it. And this is my stroke story that I wrote. And this was a healing process for me on things. So just dealing with that situation, never thinking that was going to happen for me or happen, to me.
Yeah.
Just dealing on that level, man, because I was doing a talk show. I was doing traveling around the country. I was doing cruise ships. I was doing comedy. I was doing stuff all over. I was creating music. And that kind of slowed me down for a minute, when that happened. So basically, it was just dealing with the medical situation on that level.
Yeah. We touched up on it before. I want to touch on it again. What went through your head when they told you what you just had a stroke?
Man, I was scared. I was honestly scared because I'd never dealt with anything on a medical issue on that level, and not really understanding it and knowing how I was feeling on the inside and dealing with situations. It was just something that was unfamiliar, unfamiliar to me. So I had no idea of how to deal with that kind of situation. It just because things were going on in my body when I was at the hospital. Then when they came and told me what was happening, it was pleasant to be alive, but it was just craziness of what I had to deal with moving forward on the level of the stroke itself. Just because I was there by myself when I found out. You know what I mean? Family came and visited, but I was there for 5 days. But then just being there on a day and there, being in the hospital and going through all that kind of stuff, and going in that late
Yeah.
because I was 55 years old dealing on that level. So not knowing, but knowing, you know what I mean?
But did you feel like like fear or determination or something else in that moment too? What?
Man, it was so many things. I really couldn't think well at all. I had fear, obviously, uncertainty, didn't know what was happening on that level. Just kind of all over the place. My mental, my emotional, my physical wasn't that, like I said, it wasn't that bad, but I did have to take physical therapy. I did have to go through that process and not having to deal with that and go through those things before in life and then all of a sudden get thrust into it. It's like just automatically because I was doing something at the time artistic, and then when that happened, I wasn't thinking about that, man. So it was a scary situation. I had to admit about crying. I did things on that level, and tears fell. And one night, I had so much in me that was trying to get out that I didn't understand. And one night I just remember crying and I called my best friend, I called my sister. I just, here's a big grown man at 55 years old tearing up, because
Yeah.
there's just too much to handle and not understand. And I didn't have anybody to talk to understand it at that point.
Yeah. We before we keep going, I want to acknowledge we got a couple people tapping in. If you could see it on the screen.
Yeah, I see that net has popped in over, and see has popped in over. And over on my side, Joe and Dwayne have popped over. Santa has popped in. So there's people, Carla, there's people checking us out. And if you guys might want to go over to the YouTube so you can come on the camera and see the whole show. That man over there don't look too bad. I'm not on that level, but he got his hair, braided, and he's good to go. So
I put the link in your on your live.
I appreciate
in the
that. Yeah,
comments.
you guys go to the link and then come on over to the YouTube.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you too. Since then, what are some of the biggest changes that you made in your daily life?
Man, my eating is a big change. Is a definite eating differently, uh, exercising. I like riding my bike anyway. I like doing those kinds of things, but eating has changed and trying to figure out stuff with food, getting my rest properly,
Yeah.
figuring out and learning my body better, and learning other people's body. You know what I mean? And it has really opened me up to trying to figure things out uh, on the tip of knowing what to do and how to prevent certain things from happening. Because I didn't have a stroke on a major level. I had a stroke on I consider it a minor level because you have people whose limbs are on the blitz. They're
Yeah.
mental, and it takes years and years. So I didn't really have that situation, but I could have. I think it was a spiritual intervention. Things happen, and that's just how I took it, and I take it still. But there are several things that you have to do to make sure that your body's right. You got to get your rest. Got to eat right. Got to exercise. Got to do all those things to do. But sometimes it's so hard because everything's coming at you nowadays, and you have no idea you know what I mean. So you
Yeah.
just go back to the basics and just, all right, I'm gonna go ride this bike. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna sleep, and I'm gonna eat proper. What I think is good. All that other stuff is crazy.
You know, how did you stay motivated? When progress wasn't going as fast as you wanted it to go.
Just basically missing the things that I was doing, man. Really making myself happy with my artistic stuff and other folks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My music. I love music, playing the piano and playing the guitar. My acting. I missed art, my stand-up comedy. Comedy was one of the things that was my career. So when I had to stop doing stand-up comedy because I couldn't motivate on that was devastating to me. Really devastating when you lose something or you feel you lost something
Yeah.
that is your life lesson, your life situation. I want to say what's up to Joe and Travis who joined me on my live over here. Praise God. Thank you, man, for joining, Joe. But it's just those kinds of things, like you feel like you got everything going for you. You got it all. and then in a quick second,
Yeah.
you don't have it. So I was off stage. I wasn't performing. I wasn't entertaining. I wasn't singing. I wasn't telling jokes. I wasn't acting. And I just had a movie come out. And we were going to take the movie to Raleigh. We were going to take the movie, I'm sure, to other places. But that stopped a lot of everything, and COVID, it's stopped it as well. So we had just put the movie out 2020, and COVID came that same year. So it was a whole lot of things. So it was just basically trying to get back what I lost. And for a minute, I didn't know how to do it, man. I really didn't. I really didn't. It was as simple as that for one thing to happen for me to do it. But when you lose and you feel you've lost so much, and you're in a box and you're in a case somewhere,
Yeah.
and it's a simple thought process, but you're so wound up. I was all over the place.
Yeah. I call it, that motivation is, finding your why, you know, your why you want to keep going, why you want to fight, why you want to find that why. And because I remember when it was a night like this, a Friday night, I was at home enjoying myself, um and got the phone call from, and it wasn't even from the hospital, it was a personal line, and I answered it, and it was my doctor. And I'm never going to forget when I heard the words that, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but the results came back and you have, cancer. And,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, that just, all what you were talking about, being the fear, the not knowing what's going to happen next, all that went through my head, um, how much time I have left. Am I going to have, still be able to live a, a, a long, good life,
right.
will I be here for my children and grandkids? All that stuff goes through your head. And, there's folks dealing with cancer, there's folks that have strokes, there's folks dealing with lupus, whatever you're going through. I always say it's about finding your why, and
Yeah,
let that motivate you to keep going, you know,
right.
because like you say, ain't no testimony without a test,
Man, I
you know?
still to this day think about things regardless of having things back that I never really lost. I don't. They didn't go anywhere. They're
Yeah,
just, you know what I mean. There's so many other things that took presence. I It's hard sometimes. It really is because I continue to see people doing what they got to do and what they're doing, and then I know I still have the skills and anything to do the things that I was doing, but it's so hard to do sometimes. It's so hard to put yourself in that place. I'm getting there, and I'm there in the ballpark. Excuse me, but sometimes it's hard, and people don't understand. People that I call that have perfect situations that is because you know what? A lot of people have something wrong,
yeah,
but you don't know. They're dealing with something.
yeah,
Everybody's dealing with something. If you're not dealing with something, God bless. You know what I mean? But something as you get older, these are things that happen, and I do consider myself one of the blessed ones to be able to talk about my stroke situation and go out and tell people and communicate something, write my books, still play my music,
yeah,
still do my thing and have a focus. Because some people don't, and there's a reason for everything, but there's you have to be comfortable and you have to know life and you have to understand life and you can't you can't give up. Man, you're
yeah,
sitting here with a radio show. You're sitting there doing what you do to help other people. Somebody may not reach out to you, but you might help somebody just by what you do on Friday nights, just
yeah,
by your communication. And that's what I said. You know what? I got to continue to help myself. But when I was going to the groups and I was finding out that I was helping someone else,
mm,
that really didn't want to come out and talk about it, but hit me up and go, hey, thank you for what you said. Or thank you for just being who you are. This helps me motivate myself. And that's what has to happen. So them motivating themselves, motivating me
yeah.
to keep going. You know what I mean? So I've got to just keep pushing.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and that's why I started this podcast, like I tell them all the time, every Friday, it doesn't only just help me, it helps other people. And they come in the DM, they give me words of encouragement or share stories and tell me how listening to the podcast helped them out, you know. And I love to always encourage us, our community, right? To go see the doctor if things ain't right. If you don't feel right, you know your body better than anyone else.
Right.
Go to the doctor. Too many of us don't go to doctors until it's too late, you
Right.
know.
That's the thing that dealing with and communicating with doctors and things on that level. They only know but so much, but they can help you out. They know what you're dealing with. But also, prayer for me
Yeah.
and being in my spiritual uh, helps me. You know what I mean? Because I thank God for the doctors. I thank God for those that help me on the level. But sometimes I'll say, listen, can you just show me, just show me what I need to do, or talk to me, somehow through something. And I've seen things that have been that I know have come from spirituality,
Yeah.
where God has said, okay, I got to stop here for a second, Sean. I'll be back. But let me just throw this at you real quick. Focus, because I'm only going to do it once, and I got to go. So if you catch it, you catch it. And 9 times out of 10, I'll catch it, and I've caught it. But it's so much, man. It's so much. And I miss doing stand up. I miss doing acting. I miss doing my music, but I can still do it. I do it now, but I missed it.
Yeah.
And that's what got me back into doing it, because I still had the skill set to do it. And that's basically, just got to keep pushing. Got to
You
keep
know,
pushing.
you got to keep pushing, you know. I think I said it last week. Don't let what you're going through stop you from what you're going to do, you know. And I don't let nothing stop me, you know. When I was doing events, I got released from hospitals from having surgery and had an event that night and still was there. You know, I've still got to do what keeps me alive, keep me going.
Yeah. Dwayne said, I keep myself going because positive people like you. Thank you, brother. Hey, thank you, man. I know I get on you back and forth and you get on me. And Dwayne's a character. He's from Charleston, South Carolina. And he
Okay.
knows he can be a pain in the neck sometimes. But I love him, and I'm cool with him. And he has his disabilities. And I know he don't mind me telling. But, he's somebody on that level. But I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that I pushed and helped him on that level. But that's what I get from other people too,
Yeah.
who I see. For you to have me on the show, and then I didn't know what you were going through, motivates me to keep going, and I've got to keep pushing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can't waste what God has given you. You can't waste the blessings, and you got to know the blessings that you were given and to pass them on. It may not be comedy. It could be music. It could be me on stage telling us. It could be me on this video on a talk show talking. But it's something that's given for me to help somebody, and this is helping me. Even though I worked 10 hours today and I was up 12 hours, and I'm probably tired right now, but it's all good. I've got some friends who came and are watching the show. You know what I mean? That's a positive for me.
Yeah.
And if they've got their own situations going on, if they can get some help from our conversation, that's such a positive thing. So again, I thank you for asking me to come and do this, because I was able to tell them, and they're coming on tonight, watching the show and listening to what you're saying.
Yeah. I appreciate them watching. I appreciate them, you know. And I appreciate you for being open about what you're going through. Because, like you said, I always talk about there's someone going through something, and and especially the mental part too. It's a lot of people with untreated traumas that they're dealing with.
Yeah, yeah,
I met Mo Swaggis out. I was just sick as hell, but I'm finally starting to feel like me. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. I appreciate you for tapping in, Mo Swagger. I appreciate you. You know, uh, but yeah, it's about in our community. We don't talk about stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? So it's good. I feel it's good to have this spot, this platform, this section where you hear brothers like us talking about what we're going through. You know, and maybe it will motivate someone to go get right. Maybe they ain't been feeling too good. Their side been hurting or this and that. They need to go to the doctors. Don't go to the doctors.
Yeah.
You rather them catch something early than late.
Right. The older you get, it ain't no more just my knee hurts. You know
Oh
what I mean?
no.
It ain't no more just my finger hurts.
Yeah.
You know, it's there's something causing that situation, and you have to go and make sure that things are correct. Um, I was just talking to my aunt about these certain medications. You know, you take so many things, you have no idea what's causing what. You know, because the doctors they're people, they're humans. Regardless if they know more than you know, they're
They
still human beings. So they
all
can
they
tell
know
you
they practice medicine.
practice. Right, right. So, you know, that's just the thing. You trust them and you can trust them, but you got to do your own thought process.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the face to it? It's
Exactly
true.
right.
True.
Exactly right. You know, exactly
True.
right.
And Tammy over here said preventive care.
Yeah. Yep.
Preventive care.
You know, like I had what 4 surgeries. You know, dealing with the thyroid cancer, and then it went to my hip bone, and I have testing I got to do tomorrow night. But I'm on top of it.
Right.
I'm on top of it, and people see what I'm going through, but see what I'm still doing. And what am I supposed to do? Lay down and soak and deal with my depression and get in my head and start feeling sorry for myself. You
Right.
know, I can't do that. I can't
Right.
do that. You know.
Hey, look, man. And Dwayne is a character, and I'm not going to post. I'm not going to post and talk about what he's talking about because he's trying to do a plug. And he's trying to get a plug in. But what he said, listening to you guys helps me enjoy the positive message that I'm receiving. Thank you. And the rest of the message I ain't gonna talk about because you're plugging. And so you think you slick. But anyway, listen, man, I try to watch these shows and listen to people and communicate with people and do the best I can on levels and handle situations. And you got to do them as grown-ups. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes things hurt when you talk about them. And I'm sure because nobody wants to talk about strokes. Nobody wants to talk about cancer. Nobody wants to talk about those kinds of things. But we're grown, and if you can face them and you got to face them. Look, I see people facing things, amputees facing situations, and they're out
Yeah.
doing their thing, and they're out motivating, they're out doing more than me. And that's what got me back into really showing you got to do your comedy. You got to get back out there and do your stand up. You know, watching these folks and looking at the posters of these folks, and they're out there doing what they love doing. They're happy. They're not letting their situations stop them from doing anything. Now they might go home and cry their eyes out, or they might go, and feel bad, but they're out there doing what they love doing.
Yeah.
And that's when okay, you got to do that. You can't suppress and bury everything the Lord gave you. You got this situation, and you got these communications. You can communicate it, you can talk about it, or you can do it, or you can just put it to the side. Then what are you gonna do when you put it to the side? The days I put it to the side, I didn't move nowhere.
Yep.
Didn't do nothing. And I'm watching other folks continuing on with their life, doing their thing, and not necessarily having what I had, or in the hospital what I had, but they're doing what they want to do, and that's
Exactly.
what you have to do. You got this life. You make it or break it.
Exactly. Exactly. Before we're not going to be on here long, y'all. I always say we're here for a good time, not a long time. I want you to talk more about your book. You know, and after that, let them know about the movies and stuff too.
Sure.
I'm gonna
Well,
give
I
you the
wrote.
single screen.
You talking about this book?
Yes, sir.
This stroke story book I wrote because it was my way of getting myself back to this. Look at my dirty. Look at the room you opened up. This is my room. But the stroke story book is a book that I wrote about the stroke, the 5 days in the hospital, and I had to do something to help myself. So I sat down and I put these words to the paper, and I wrote this book about my stroke. It helped me move forward. I also asked friends to write about scenarios or put some positive messages in, some inspirational thoughts. And they put some inspirational thoughts, they sent them to me, and they're in this book. And one of the inspirational thoughts which I put first, and I still, like I told you, I don't know this lady's name to this day, but I was at a church and I received an award for my video. There's a video on YouTube, my stroke story, if you go check it out. And she said, "You have a divine purpose. Don't give up on it. God is with you and continues to be with you, and you have a testimony." And you talked about that earlier. This is, and in the book I wrote, told to me by an unknown lady at the 2022 SITA Awards, SITA, and I think they're having them this weekend. The SITA Awards. But listen, I'm coming out of. I don't think I'm 100% out of my situation. I'm coming out of. I don't think you heal that quick.
No.
I heal some, but you don't heal that quick because there's days that I feel like crap. It could be the medication that I'm still on. And I don't mind telling people I'm on medication. Yeah, because I'm still continuing to do well.
Right.
But I'm back doing my comedy after that 6 months off. I'm writing. I'm playing my guitars. I'm playing my piano. I'm performing. I'm doing comedy. I'm doing the things that I know how to do. And that's how you help yourself move forward. You've got to get back to yourself. You can take a second to shake it off because you're going to need that second. Guarantee you, if you just jump right back in, there's going to be some kind of recourse that happens, but take your time. Get out there at a piece. I'm in a couple of groups on Facebook. I go to a group once a month, a live group, and then there's groups that I'm on Facebook on, and we just come together and help each other, motivate each other to move forward on situations, and that's what you have to do. You got to stay positive. If you're a spiritual person, you already know. You're in your spiritual, and you talk to God, and you tell him, "Hey, this is what's going on," or "This is what's happening," or "You got a second? Because I need you," Or you go to your Bible. I got a big Bible sitting right over this computer. I've got a Bible over here to my left. I've got my other scriptures by my bed. I got some stuff on my calendar, and it's a constant reminder of the things that I need to be motivated on, and know that yes, there is a God, and these things happen, but you're okay, because you could be wrapped up where you can't get out of bed, you can't do anything. So there's a reason, there's a purpose. You still have your senses. I was able to write a book. I was able to do a video. I was able to finish my movie. I was able to do some more short films, music. So there's something else that I have to be doing, and I should be doing, and I'm going to be led to do with what I have. God didn't waste the gifts that I was given. He didn't waste that stuff on me to let it just come to an age and stop.
Right.
There's something that I have to do, and it could be helping somebody that's watching the show that doesn't speak up. It could be somebody that's on the Facebook group that doesn't speak up. It could be somebody in my group live once a month that doesn't speak up, but hears what I'm saying, and it helps them. Because I still get motivated today by folks. It doesn't stop when you get yourself back together, and I'm not 100% back together. I don't mind saying that. I'm together enough, but I'm not 100%. I'm driving. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm singing. I was just singing the other day and today when I was doing my little plants, watering my plants. I was singing Babyface. I was singing Whippoorwill. That wasn't for the ladies, but I just said that. I was singing Whippoorwill. So I was doing all of the things that I was doing before, and just kind of, hey man, that sounds pretty good. That sounds all right.
Yeah.
So you feel yourself, and you hear those things, and you're able to put all that stuff together, and you can communicate that with folks. So listen, man, if you haven't, and no, Dwayne, I'm not sending you a book. This is my book. If you want to reach out to me to get a copy of the book, you can reach out to me at Shawn Cornelius, Shawn POOHCORNELIUS, Cornelius at Shawn Cornelius at Gmail, and I'll send you a book, or you can do it on the Facebook, or you can just touch base with Tre and let him know that you want to book a copy, and we can make it happen.
That's it. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on. this won't be the last time he be on the platform. I tell y'all.
Oh, I didn't even talk about the movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And let's go ahead and talk about the movie too. Yeah, we almost went without that.
Yeah. Okay, I can tell him. I'll tell him real quick. I wrote this film back in college called When Blood Runs Cold. Me and a friend of mine, Omar Moore, turned it into a feature film. We showed it out here in Times Square at 3 theaters here on top. At the Regal Theater is called Whatever It Takes, and it's on Tubi. Whatever It Takes, When Blood Runs Cold is on Tubi right now. You can go check it out and watch the film and support what we're doing. It's a cop. It's a buddy cop film. It's funny. It's got some thriller stuff. It's dramatic. It's got music. A lot of my friends are in it. A lot of Omar's friends are in it, and the movie's been running. Some of these folks on my live have seen the film already. There's a lot of people in it who we use as extras. There's some very, very talented folks in the film, but you'll enjoy it. It's called Whatever It Takes, the movie, When Blood Runs Cold. It's on Tubi right now. You can go see it, and that would help us out a lot. And that's really what we were supposed to talk a little bit about that. But listen, man, this is, again, thank you so much for allowing me to come back through and talk about everything. And thank you to my friends who came to support the show tonight. Keep supporting the show, because I know you do 3 or 4 shows a week, must be.
Yeah. We doing things over here at the headquarters. So
yeah, man.
You know, trying to bring positive. There's so much negativity out there. You know, I want to keep promoting positivity.
It's beautiful, man. Please keep doing your thing, and thank you again for having me. Because this is a wonderful outlet for me to do my thing. It's a wonderful opportunity, and I need it. When you're in situations, you don't know that you need other people on scenarios, and then you realize, you know what? That brother just helped me. You helped me 3 times already. Sit down and talk about things and boost things. So thank you so much, and continue blessings to you. And whatever I can do, I'm going to do.
And I know my brother reached out to you, man. My boy Shout Body. You be
Yes.
on his podcast in October. I
Yes.
saw. So, that's a good thing. I know you already been on Uncle B's, right?
Yes, we're on Uncle B show. But October, I think it's the 18th or the 19th.
I believe the 19th.
That Sunday, whatever that Sunday is, I'll be on that show, and you can see that on my Facebook page, what date and all that kind of stuff. It's a wonderful opportunity for me to be on that show too. So promoting that well.
Yeah, you see during the intro, Uncle B, Shout Body. We're all one. So anything I could ever do for you, you already know. You got the number.
Well, it's the same here, man. I know you out in California, but if I do another film and you over here, you got a part. You don't even have to
happen.
You can probably shoot your part and just bring it on over and put it in the movie, so it don't make no difference. We're going to work it out. Technology is that wonderful.
Yes, indeed. And I appreciate you, Shawn. I appreciate everybody that was on here tapping in, leaving comments. Most Swagger just said, yes, sir, limitations exist in the mind only, and what the mind of a person can conceive and believe they can achieve. 100%. 100%. That's a brother that motivates me. He has a hell of a story, and he doesn't let what he's been through stop him from what he's going to do. And, I just want to let everybody know, if you're going through something, don't be afraid to seek help, to talk to someone. And just remember, you're not alone. You're not alone. And if this podcast, you like this one, share it with someone. DM me. Let me know what you'd like us to talk about. If you know someone going through something, share this podcast with them, And remember to always celebrate those small victories and inspire others. Be a blessing to someone. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate y'all. It's your big homie, Tre Boogie. It's the Friday Night Chop Up. And I holla.
F&G shit. Shot the whole day, go. Shot the bro Tre Boogie. We slide.
Johnny Rock.
Sliding in the rental, trying to run the milli up. In the southeast, Tre Boogie been a plug. Rubber bands on the blues, hella panoramic views. If you get into it with the squad, you can never lose. It's on the flow like Yellow Rider. I got your vibe on her toes like nail polish. In the city, we get respected from everybody. You about to pull up on Tre Boogie, now let's chop it. If you talking about the game, let's chop it up. If you talking about the hustle, let's chop it up. If you talking about the grind, let's chop it up. Talking about some fly vibes, baby, let's chop it up. If you talking about the game, let's chop it up. If you talking about the hustle, let's chop it up. If you talking about the grind, let's chop it up. Talking about some fly vibes, baby, let's chop it up. Let's chop it up. Got it wet, it's not a cut. Ain't worried about what nobody else got, cause I got enough. Me and Tre Boogie locked in, he threw a lob, I dunk. Heard the beat and sauced it up, can't nobody go hard as us. If you talking about the game, let's chop it up. If you talking about the hustle, let's chop it up. If you talking about the grind, let's chop it up. Talking about some fly vibes, baby, let's chop it up. If you talking about the game, let's chop it up. If you talking about the hustle, let's chop it up. If you talking about the grind, let's chop it up. Talking about some fly vibes, baby, let's chop it up.